Hi, in this video I'm going to talk about the question, is there a cure for social anxiety? And with the rise of social media like Facebook and Twitter, it seems as though social anxiety is growing as well. Maybe it's because we're afraid we won't live up to our idealized life, the excerpts we post that only tell some of the story because we've edited out the bits that don't count, or maybe even photoshopped some of those pictures. Maybe it's because we've no longer used to meeting people in real life. Most of our lives are spent online or with our nose buried deep in our phone. But whatever the reason that's causing our social anxiety, the more pressing question is whether or not there's a cure for it. And face it, most people aren't brash or super confident, so if you're nervous when you meet other people, especially if you've never met them before, keep in mind you've got company, lots of company, probably including the person you've suddenly face to face with. And there are probably some pills and potions you could take if your doctor prescribed them, but personally I feel that kind of thing is very much a last resort. I think it's over the top. Likewise, therapy could help, but it often takes what seems like forever before anything starts to happen. And in my view, it's much better to start the changes in yourself using natural techniques, lots of which have been around since mankind pretty much evolved. And relaxing is the best start for curing your social anxiety. Those butterflies in your stomach are the manifestation of your nervousness, and the idea of taking a deep breath like your mother told you to do when you needed to calm down still works now you're a grown-up, even though you think it might not. And it's perfectly normal to take a deep breath. After all, everyone breathes all the time. You're not going to look odd. Don't make a song and dance about it, so don't sigh as you breathe out or anything noticeable like that. Just take a slightly deeper, longer breath than you'd normally take. Hold it, maybe for a moment, maybe for a second or two. Nothing like a magician holding their breath underwater, just slightly longer than normal. Then exhale gently, remember, no sighing. And if you're able to take a moment or two to daydream as you exhale, imagine all the tension and social anxiety worries escaping on your breath, harmlessly vanishing as they react and reach the outside world. Just maybe popping like a bubble does or something like that, just harmlessly going wherever it is they go. And for relatively mild cases of social anxiety, that might be all you need to do. Try it next time you find yourself in a situation where you'd rather curl up in a hole in the ground or have the ground swallow you up than actually interact with other people. Longer term, think about listening to a meditation track on a regular basis, because there are ones around that take only 10 minutes to do their work, and we can all fit 10 minutes into even the busiest routine. Meditation helps you overcome your social anxiety, but like most things, it's not an overnight cure. It just helps you relax generally, and that in turn will help your social anxiety. Next up, watch what you eat, because food affects us in lots of different ways. You've probably seen kids on a sugar rush, sometimes adults as well. You've certainly seen them in other situations where they've had things they shouldn't have eaten or drunk. Tame your diet so that you're eating more natural foods with less processing and less added ingredients, especially those ingredients you can't pronounce and you'd rather not launch Wikipedia to find out what on earth they are. And since reading labels is a pain in the neck, go for this shortcut. If there are 5 or less ingredients, basically if it's one line, it's probably okay, because you can't fit many nasties into 5 ingredients. On the other hand, if the ingredients list needs a microscope to read it, or it's printed in low contrast, light grey or yellow on white seem to be favourites for foods that you'd rather not read the ingredients list on, put the product back on the shelf. Simple. You can do that online as well, because most sites show the labels. And that'll cut out most of the nasties without too much work or effort. And while you're at it, cut back on those large coffees, especially in the afternoon and evening. I know they taste nice, but caffeine stays in our system for quite a while, and reducing it later in the day helps us get a better night's sleep. That'll help with life in general, not just your social anxiety, because you won't be in tweak mode. And lots of other things you can do, including the feel the fear and do it anyway option, which works surprisingly often. Or interact first, worry about it later. Preferably never worry, but that's a stretch. Important thing is chip away at your social anxiety, much like a beaver gnawing away at a gigantic tree and eventually felling it. And if you'd like more help, including some meditations you can test, a bit longer than the 10-minute one, but they're there, and lots of other freebies, click the link below this video. Lots of things that will help you in life in general, as well as help you relax and help calm your social anxiety. And they're free. So go on, click the link, get your freebies, and start on the way to getting rid of your social anxiety. Go for it. And if you've got any comments on that, put a message in the comments below.